Yeah! Can't steal it! Woo! Wheel and deal it! The cream of the crop! Nobody does it better. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning. But brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad.
I'm the man of the hour, the man with the power. You sweet to be sour.
It's showtime, folks!
Welcome to the Grill Out. From the heart of Shillian, West Virginia, here's your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Grill Out. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty. Episode 64. That's what we're on. Episode 64, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. We don't have Jason entirely in front of a mic, but that's okay. Josh Cole, Bebe.
Yeah.
One of the co-hosts. Jason Lykens, the current reigning, and he's taking the
No, it's not good that you don't have me in front of a microphone. What the viewers and listeners want to hear is the sweet, soothing tones of the reflection of perfection.
More like deception, but okay. All right. We've been talking about this a little bit about our upcoming interview. And one thing that we love to talk about on this program is the history of professional wrestling, especially when that history makes its way to the Mountain State. Grappalachia is a highly anticipated documentary from West Virginia Public Broadcasting that is, quote, a love letter to wrestling in Appalachia, end quote, according to Casey King. Troy Rankin is the director and producer of the upcoming documentary coming out on December 30th, and he's joining us now. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Trying to stay warm.
It is miserably cold outside, and I'm glad we're just doing this on the inside. Honestly, I'm glad this isn't like an outdoor thing.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, listen, I'm a fat guy, and I'm not. You don't say there's a reason why I'm on radio. So, but yeah, no, there's no reason to do that outside, and it's just way too cold right now. But anyway, I want to go ahead and jump right into this with Grappalachia and just start from the beginning and like, how did this come about?
Well, I am not originally from West Virginia. I'm from Colorado, and I moved here about 5 years ago. And as I've made friends through the years, in Colorado, like wrestling was my dirty little secret. Pro wrestling was like nobody. They're like, "You still watch that, dude?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so." And I got here, and immediately, my girlfriend at the time, now wife, introduced me to people who, like, the first AEW that was here, they were like, "We got tickets, we're going." And I didn't get to go to that. I was elsewhere. But I was like, "Oh, these people love it here." And so then I made friends with those people, and they took me to the first indie show down in Canal City at Pro Wrestling Conquest. And I'm sitting there, and I'm watching this guy, Jock Sampson, and he's healing it up. And he's, like, honestly one of the best, like, indie heels I think I've ever seen. He's just sitting there, he's just trashing West Virginia. He's like, "West Virginia, you hillbillies, you rednecks, this and that and the other." And, just eating it up. What kind of language can I use on this?
I will say this is FCC regulated.
Okay.
Because this will go out Monday at 1:03 on WSWW, and then it will be, so it'll go out tomorrow, whatever time you're listening to this. And then tomorrow night at 7:03, it will be on WCHS. So yeah, we kind of.
I will take some of the less colorful things that were said.
Yeah. I've been to Pro Wrestling Conquest shows, so I could imagine.
So yeah, as you know, it's a little more adult friendly. And I'm kind of looking around, taking the crowd in, seeing what's going on, because a lot of indie crowds are smarky, and I see this older woman. I look up, and she's just flipping this guy the bird, yelling "F you" as loud as she can. She's like, "Go back to Ohio, you piece of trash, like you piece of trash." And I was like, oh my God, they love it. Like, what is this? What is this, like, buy-in? And so from there, my stepkid's dad is a wrestler, and I talked to him about it, and he got me in with Gary Dameron with All Star Wrestling, and we had a little meeting, and then it just kind of snowballed from there, and then I just a million interviews later and a bunch of B-roll later, and now I've got a 26 short documentary.
Oh wow, okay. See, like, yeah, those Pro Wrestling Conquest shows can get a little rowdy. They're very much more of an indie feel. And also, I know what you're talking about because just this year at Regatta Pro, I was talking to one of the vendors there, and the lady she was from Florida. And she was like, I have never seen this. Like, the people are having so much fun around here. And she's like, we don't have this down in Florida. I'm like, really? Of all places, you guys don't have it there. So, I'm not sure exactly. But, yeah, one thing that I have heard, did you get a chance to talk with Adam Harris?
I did. Well, he's my coworker. So.
Okay. Okay. So, one thing I've heard Adam say is that, like, Charleston is a wrestling town. West Virginia is a wrestling town. I'm sure since he's your coworker, you've heard him say the same thing.
Oh, yeah, a million times.
So with this documentary, that's basically what this is showing is like, hey, it's bigger here than people realize.
Yeah, like I said, I did not, like, I was all the way down in Madison, not all the way down, it's just an hour drive, but like going to see All-Star Wrestling, and like on a Saturday night in the middle of the summer, they packed the auditorium out with like 200, 300 people. To just go see, the local indie guys. And so, I mean, there's something else to it. And, like, through the interviews I found, like, people just, it's been on TV. It was on TV every Saturday. And people just kind of, it's, like, deep within the, like, in the DNA of this place, I think. And, like, as I've, like, lived here and learned to, like, I don't know, not to learn to love. I love it here. Don't get me wrong. As I've, like, learned to, like, see how Appalachian things are, and like I see how a lot of wrestling is like totally into how wrestling could like permeate its way through and like stick through this entire time.
No, yeah, it's more ingrained in the culture around here than people realize. So
yeah,
and actually, I'm gonna go ahead and toss it over to Josh.
So you mentioned All-Star Wrestling. Did you talk to like any other promotions?
I didn't. I had a bit of some budgetary issues, so. Initially, the goal was to like go up and down Appalachia, and like just start as far south as I can go, as far north as I could go, and then they were like, no real travel, so I kind of could only kind of stick to Charleston and Madison, and I probably could have gone up to Parkersburg, but at that point, like things were spiraling out of control in terms of like producing, so I just kind of.
Yeah, because I know West Virginia has like nearly 30 promotions, maybe some we don't even know about. So just kind of curious about that.
Yeah, and of course I would love to have given everybody their time, but I only had 26 minutes, and I could have talked to everybody that hit a ring, and there was a manager or this or that, and I had to like condense it down and just make it
Kind of follow up. How much did you actually record that had to cut down?
Oh my gosh. I was trying to count the other day. I think I have like 15 interviews, and then I went to 9 or 10 shows where I was just shouldered up with the camera. Sorry, I forget this is not
it's okay.
I forget this is Radio Land.
Yeah.
And I'm using jargon, so it's even better. And so I recorded a lot of things, and then I recognized that like I needed some more help, so I had other guys. So it's like I had 150 hours maybe worth of stuff. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And like I probably could have made it longer, but then there's a lot more. I'm doing this all like I have the help of the staff that I'm with, but like a lot of these documentaries that we make are just kind of solo projects.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So what challenges did you face during the production? Like promotional issues, wrestling issues, equipment issues?
Well, the biggest thing is getting wrestlers to come to an interview, booking their time, because these guys and girls, they have 9-to-5 jobs, and so they're only really doing this on the weekend. And so they're only like unless they've like committed themselves to wrestling. But a lot of the guys and girls I talked to were I would go days without hearing back from somebody, and it was a little frustrating when you're trying to book something. As you guys know, if you guys produce a show, and it's like, hey, you're gonna be there? You're gonna what's going on?
Yeah, we had one interview earlier this year, and Josh and I were talking about it earlier. I'm not going to say who it is on the air, and I take full responsibility.
Oh,
it fell through. I was it did not line up everybody's schedules, and the whole interview itself fell through. So yeah, I completely understand the frustration.
Jimmy Hart interview?
Thanks, Jason. It was. We were supposed to have Jimmy Hart on there.
That's also like I have parameters I have to work around too, because I can only work 9 to 5. So it's not like a traditional TV production job where I would say, if they're only available at a certain amount of time at a certain time, then I can go book that, but I've got to work within the parameters of my job too, which was also difficult. But other than that, like talking to them and like I'm a big of a dork as they are when it comes to wrestling. So like it was just easy conversations. Like it was just good. And then I had another coworker who loves wrestling, so he like came along and did all the audio recording. It was like I don't know. I've worked on harder things, but this one seemed like, knock on wood, the hardest thing was the edit and booking people. But
I was going to say, is it because of like where you have such a passion for professional wrestling, it was just sort of easier to produce something like this? Like,
yeah, I think so. I think having a passion project and having it be
which is basically what this show is.
yeah, and having it just kind of I don't know, yeah, just letting people and having your bosses go have fun within, don't spend too much money, and actually don't spend a whole lot, don't spend any money if you can, and then go make whatever you want. And I was like, that's fantastic.
Director producer for Grappalachia Troy Rankin is joining us right now.
You mentioned that it's a passion project. So what is your hopeful biggest takeaway that the audience gets from Grappalachia?
I kind of want, I don't know, I that's a great question. I have not thought about long term about what they should take. Hopefully I have like simplified wrestling to a way where people can kind of understand it. I mean, there's so much that you'll never like unless you dive in, with both feet and but I think hopefully I want them to take away that like there's a lot of talent here in West Virginia, and there's a lot of talented wrestlers here in West Virginia, and it would be a shame if these bigger promotions kind of overlook that.
Was there any like moments during filming that surprised you or changed your perspective on anything, or may have caught you off guard a little bit?
Nah, not honestly. No, not really. Maybe it's just I have spent a little bit about. I'm gonna bore you with my background for 1 second. I worked in reality TV for like 12 or 13 years before I got this job at public broadcasting. So like, there's not a lot that like shocks me.
Well, coming from that field, I could understand.
And so like, I didn't get into like the nitty gritty of things. I wasn't trying to like drill down deep and see like who these people are. I mean that's not. Let me rephrase that. It wasn't trying to be like an expose or anything. This was like a love letter, right? Like Casey King said, it's a love letter. And like while there's that seedy underside of wrestling, like I didn't see any of that. And I think that's also like an attribute to like modern day wrestling and how that, yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, with like the back scenes, dirt sheet type stuff has sort of tainted some of the images of wrestling. Like I'll say this just for an example, and I've mentioned it on the show before, the All Out Brawl Out that everybody's got an opinion on between the Bucks and Kenny and CM Punk. It literally took me out of wrestling for like 4 months. 4 to 5 months. Like, because the backstage stuff just got so out of hand, I couldn't do it. So I get that.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I wasn't interested in any of that. I just wanted to like show cool wrestling moves and like interview cool people, and that was basically what I got to do.
So, like, what is the difference in the wrestling culture between here and Colorado? And did you learn anything new about wrestling in this region?
There's not a lot of wrestling culture in Colorado. Not that I can tell, or maybe it's just like I didn't put myself in it as much. I will say like I'm more of an avowed like bigger promotion watcher. And then I kind of get more through the indies, going through the indies through Reddit and like some friends in Los Angeles and stuff. But I didn't notice a big culture in Colorado. I never really saw promotion for it or anything. So I would definitely say like I said earlier, it's just it's night and day in a lot of places. But I think West Virginia in itself is like very unique in how they view it, how their view of wrestling is.
Yeah, because like one thing, growing up around here, I heard stories all the time about when Flair would come to town, when Dusty Rhodes would come to town, when Jim Cornette and them would come to town. Actually, with ASW, they had. I was there the night that Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express got inducted into their Hall of Fame, and Jim Cornette goes on to tell this story about how they were at the Madison Civic Center before, and they got arrested or something in the Madison, because the police department's right beside it.
Right.
So like the police had to get involved and everything, and just talk about how crazy it was in those days. And I've also heard that like Bruiser Brody and them would come to town. So, and I asked, have you ever heard of Dave Allen?
I know Dave. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know him personally, but yes.
Yeah. So he got inducted the same night as Jim Cornette, and I asked him, I'm like, so I've always heard that like this was a semi-hotbed for wrestling. He said that it really wasn't, but when you go back and you look at like old promos and stuff with Jim Cornette and them, they stopped in West Virginia an awful lot in between the bigger cities.
It's also my understanding in Madison that ICW used to run shows here, and that was the Poffos. So like Lanny Poffo and Randy Savage were here quite a bit as well. So I have some old archival footage of ICW wrestling that I kind of intersperse through it. And it's not, I wish it could, whoever I talked to, I forget who it was. Joe Dombrowski was his name. And he was like, I'm looking through the archives. I don't have a bunch of stuff, whatever we filmed, because most of that's based in Kentucky. But they did film some shows here, so I have like a little bit of stuff from Beckley, but it's like it's not stuff I can really show on PBS. It's like a woman wrestling a bear, so I'm like I don't know if that's gonna make the cut or not. But
it's funny how many people used to wrestle bears for promotions. Like it happened a lot, surprisingly. But what are your thoughts on how, just from the time that you've spent researching this and going through archival footage up to today, just thoughts on how the wrestling industry has changed over the years?
Oh, I mean, it's changed. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how you can even compare eras, even like from 10 years ago to even like 40 years ago. I mean, obviously, the athleticism and the in-ring stuff is completely different. There's things that that you would see. I was watching those old tapes, and the crowd's going wild for like arm drags and body slams, and now it's like that's just like a regular old happenstance. Like if you're not seeing a topo suicida in a match, then like what's happening?
Yeah, they're just transition moves. A lot of them are now.
Yeah.
Especially like unless it's I was going to say the DDT, unless it's like Jake Roberts DDT. Yeah, if it's Jake Roberts DDT, like bam, he's going. They're going down right then and there. Last thing I want to touch on too before we wrap this up. Have you included like commentary on how like wrestling reflects like broader societal issues and like such as like gender roles, labor rights, et cetera, et cetera?
No, I didn't have enough time to do that. I wish I could have.
I could imagine with 26 minutes you can.
Yeah. Ultimately, it was like these people are cool. I want to shine a light on how cool these people are and how cool the wrestling scene is here, and like on a broader like macro level like that. I wish I could have done that. There's a little bit of like I had a couple guys talk about, actually Adam does, and another wrestler Shane Storm kind of mentioned like. This is kind of like an outlet for people with not maybe their income's a little less than what's typical across the United States, and like this is a good outlet and good entertainment for people. It's cheap entertainment, and it's honestly some of the best wrestling you'll see.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And last thing I will say, it's not so much a question, but it involves Pro Wrestling Conquest. So Shotzi Blackheart, she was going to Pro Wrestling Conquest a lot before, and I've been to Conquest twice. Both times somebody went to a bigger promotion afterwards. Shotzi Blackheart was the first one. She went to NXT afterwards. And then I was there when Danhausen was in town.
Oh, I saw it. I filmed Danhausen. Oh my God, he was at ASW last month, and he signed a release. So he's gonna make. He's not part of the promotion. Like that's kind of gross if I did that, right? Like he's not. I didn't talk to him other than to be like, hey, sign this release. But like, he was very like the nicest guy. He was like, oh yeah, cool, awesome, signed it, and I was like. Well, I mean, I got to put him in, but Danhausen, amazing, one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, I'll end with this. I got a chance to meet Danhausen at Pro Wrestling Conquest. It was right before he signed with AEW. It was like 6 months before he signed with them, and that was when he had like blown up. So like my brother and my friend, we were like the last ones in line, and we get up there to him, and we're like, hey, you know, we want autographs, pictures, and stuff, and he's like, out of character at this point, and he's like, I am shocked with how many people showed up to this show. So, where can they see this? Where can they get it?
This will be on. Oh shoot! I should know the name of the app. I don't. It's the. It'll be online on the PBS app, and it will be on air December 30th. I have not received a time of when it will air. My guess is prime time. But so we joked about we call it slamming the new year with Grappalachia.
There you go. There you go. We had that, and we are very much looking forward to it here. Director, producer for Grappalachia, Troy Rankin. We're going to shift gears real quick, and we will do On This Day in Wrestling History. December 22nd, 1997, just 6 days before the biggest pay-per-view in their history, World Championship Wrestling decided it would be a good idea to spend the first half hour of Monday Nitro watching the NWO change the WCW set to an NWO-themed one. The experiment to see if the NWO could sustain their own program resulted in losing 25% of the audience in the first half of the show.
I couldn't imagine why that didn't work.
Wait, what year is that?
1997.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, this was a week before the Sting Hogan match? Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. December 22nd, 2000.
WCW gonna WCW.
WCW. December 22nd, 2008, WWE SmackDown was taped in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. On the show, Maurice defeated Michelle McCool to retain the WWE Divas Championship, in which Maria was the special guest referee.
Wow.
Yeah.
Insightful.
I was digging deep for some of these. December 22nd, 2017, Rey Mysterio presented Lucha Wonderland from El Cajun, California. Cajon?
Pretty sure.
I don't know.
West Virginia.
In the main event, Mysterio and Rocky Romero defeated John Hannigan, John Morrison, and Luchasaurus. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do predictions for AEW World's End, and Troy is going to be our guest picker. So, stay tuned.
It's time for more of the Grill Out. Here's Hollywood Jeff Pate.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to The Grill Out. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Pate. I'm joined by my co-hosts, both of them, Josh Cole. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Long-lost cousin of Adam Cole, or at least we think so.
We'll see if he wins.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And,
I'm here too.
yes, Jason, you come to the mic. Come to the mic.
Yeah, I'm here.
That's Jason Lykens, the current reigning and defending Grill Out predictions champion. We're also joined by director and producer for Grappalachia, Troy Rankin. He's going to be our guest picker for this. So, yes.
Hopefully I'm like a Chalamet and I'm killing it, but we'll see.
Yeah. This is our last predictions. Well, we have our year predictions next week that we're going to do. But this is our last predictions as far as pay-per-views go. So, AEW World's End Continental Classic final for the AEW Continental Championship.
There are two semifinals in the final, but we don't really know who's going to be in the semifinals. So,
okay, so how are we doing this one?
I guess we'll just
Yay,
pick.
planning.
Yeah, I guess we'll just pick who we think is going to win the whole thing. Maybe.
Okay, we can do that.
I mean, right now the Blue League, Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher are leading both at 9 points, and then the Gold League, Claudio Castagnoli and Ricochet are leading at 9 points. Can't forget Kazuchika Okada is the reigning champion. He's in Blue League with 7 points currently at the time of this recording.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll roll with that. We're planning this out just like Tony Khan plans some of this other stuff out. Some of it's booking. As far as
so I guess we would say between those five: Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher, Claudio Castagnoli, Ricochet, and Kazuchika Okada.
Okay. Yeah. Now I'm going to be a little basic on this one. I'm just going to go Okada. Just that's where I'm going to go with it. So yeah. Josh?
I'm going to go Cal Fletcher.
You're going to go Fletcher?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those guys have been impressive. I am a huge Okada mark, and I just like anything that man does, I will watch. So I think it's gonna be Okada, but look out for I want to say Okada, but Mark Briscoe is like maybe my dark horse.
Yeah. All right, Jason.
You see, as much as I would love to go Bobby Blaze, he's not in it. But I think, okay, so you take the title off of Briscoe, you have him in a tournament, you give it to Briscoe.
Okay, so you're going to go Briscoe.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. And, Troy this is Bobby Blaze's number one fan.
Yeah.
By number one, he means only.
You want to tell him the story?
Which one?
How he sort of saw him. How he learned of him.
Okay, I didn't learn of him at that event. I remember watching Bobby Blaze as a small child. I was a child, not Bobby Blaze. That would be creepy. We were at the... What was the name of that event? It was like a WrestleCon event.
It was for
yeah.
It was part of the AEW thing right before it. Was it? I don't think it was his last one. I think it was the one before that, right? Yeah.
This is a really in-depth story. There's really no payoff to this story. It's just Bobby Blaze was there.
Yeah. But
That's
no one
it.
was there for him.
No. People were only there to see Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
And then there was Ronnie Garvin at the very end of the line, in which one of the people working walked by us, and there was a guy standing close to us who asked the guy working, was like, hey, who is that at the end? And they were like, that's Ronnie Garvin. He was like, oh, okay. So it's always nice to know when that guy was me. Yeah, I didn't realize it was Ronnie Garvin. Again, this story has no payoff. I have no idea why.
Just give it to me. Just give it to me. Biggest Bobby Blaze fan ever.
That's amazing.
Yep. All right, next match for the AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring. MJF, your ring holder against Josh's cousin, long lost, maybe cousin, Adam Cole. Bye.
Yeah. Twice removed from a third generation, no longer here.
MJF is like a 5-time Dynamite.
He is the only.
Yeah, I know he's the only one, but he's won it like 5 times.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Cole. Give it to Cole, please, for the love of God.
I would give it to him, but I'm going MJF. Cole is the heel here, even though he's presented as the face. He screwed MJF last year.
That's true. But
he is the devil.
What? Okay, yeah, you got me there. Troy.
I'm going MJF. I think this is like going to be a running gag as long as he's in AEW. Got root beer on the brain. As long as he's in AEW, I think he's going to hold that ring forever.
Yeah.
All right, so when does this show air?
Today.
Yes.
And tomorrow.
Yeah, it will. It will go out today at 4:00
on the podcast.
World's End.
Oh, next Saturday.
This Saturday.
Which is the date of?
28th.
And what is the 24th?
Christmas Eve?
No, it is the first night of Hanukkah. So MJF will win. There's more than one religion, Jeff.
I know this, Jay.
That was a great setup.
He's not even close to it. All right, Tijuana Street Fight for the AEW Women's World Championship. Mariah May, your champion, defending it against Thunder Rosa. You know, I like Rosa. I do. I think she's great in the ring. But I've got to go May on this one. It's gonna be May.
You took it from me. Yeah, it's gonna be May.
Yeah,
because next will be Tony time.
True. All right, Troy.
I am not totally familiar with the women's division there, but I think they're just going to keep it on.
It's okay. Neither is Tony Khan.
Yeah, that was going to be my next comment. I think they're just going to keep it on Mariah May. Thunder Rosa already held it, and she was not a very good champion, to my understanding. So, yeah, stays on May.
Yeah, I think from my understanding, like Thunder Rosa was like great chasing the belt, and then when she got the belt, it wasn't Yeah.
And then she got injured and had to vacate it.
Yeah. Well,
They had the little interim champion thing for a bit there because of that.
Yeah. Well, like we've already listen.
Yeah.
And that interim champion stuff was no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. All right, Jason.
May.
Gonna go May. All right. Next match.
Well, I didn't think I needed to, elaborate any more on that.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I mean, if you want me to, I will. So, Thunder Rosa is a competitor. She is the challenger. Mariah May is the champ. And it's going to be May.
I'm glad you pointed all of that out.
Yeah, me too. Happy to be here. Happy to
Would you like some cookies?
There are no such
Don't you start with these cookies. No. All right, next match for the AEW International Championship. Konosuke Takeshita, yes, versus Powerhouse Hobbs. I want to say Hobbs.
For the AEW
There you go.
International
I said it. It's for the AEW
didn't
International
say it.
Championship. Yeah.
Say it at all.
Yes, I did. Leave me alone. I want to say Hobbs, but I've got to go Takeshita. I mean, the guy. I eventually see them strapping the rocket to him and sending him to the moon. And he's also, I mean, he's great in the ring. Awesome. Hobbs is as well, but I don't see it going to Hobbs at all.
Well, you say you think they're going to strap the rocket to him. I think this rocket is strapped to him right now, and that's why he's winning.
All right. Troy?
I'm going to be a little contrarian and say if the rocket's strapped to him, he might just drop it and he might start chasing the title. So the heavyweight title. So maybe I think Hobbs here.
All right. Jason?
I would like to say Bobby Blaze. That's why I said it. But I'm going to go with, you know what, I think what you have here is two strong competitors. It could go either way. It could go A or B. By A or B, I mean T or H with Takeshita or Hobbs. And I'm going to go with not Hobbs.
So you're going to go Takeshita.
That is correct.
Okay. That's what. I'm typing it. I'm typing it right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to talk while you were typing, so there was no dead air. Okay, so our next one is Mercedes Moné champion versus Chris Statlander for the AEW TBS Championship. See, it's not that hard, Jeff. I can do your job.
Jeez. You see how I get respected around here? I get no respect at all. I get no respect. All right, AEW TBS Championship match. Mercedes Moné, your champion, defending it against Chris Statlander, who we interviewed on here before.
I just said that.
I'm leave me alone. Let me alone. I'm going to go Moné on this one. Actually,
Nope.
Nope. I'm not. My show. I'm going Statlander, actually. I just changed it on a whim.
What's your
So-
favorite kind of shoes? Are they flip-flops? Unflip-flopper?
All right, Josh.
It would be cool to see Statlander win it again, become the first two-time champion.
Good picker.
I'm going to go Monet. That money. Because I think it's going to be a bigger match later for that championship. Probably, what's her name?
Good talk.
Her bodyguard person?
Who, Camille?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, her.
Oh, well, yeah, you got a
Yeah.
good point there. Got a solid point with that. I'm still not changing my pick, though.
Well, you're wrong.
Well, you know what? There's a reason why I haven't won this title very much. Troy?
I think Mercedes is money. She's not going to lose.
All right. Jason?
Okay, so here's the thing. Mike keeps falling. I believe that
As he contemplates.
well, no, because I don't think the title is going to change hands. But I think Statlander may win. Yeah, I don't know.
But not the title.
It might be Monet because I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna say Monet. Yeah.
Gonna go Monet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me type that in.
It's not hard. 4 letters.
I know it's not.
You misspelled it.
Wh-
You spelled
It's my fat sausage fingers. Leave me alone. All right? Leave me.
and I aren't even close together.
No, they're not. They're not. I've lost complete control. Main event. 4-way match for the AEW World Championship. Jon Moxley, your champion, defending it against Orange Cassidy, Hangman Adam Page, and Jay White. I love Jay White. I don't think he's going to do it.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I can see Cassidy eventually becoming world champion. Don't see
Sounds
Page.
like a prediction of some sort.
Sort of. I don't see it being Page. Page, maybe he's been champion before, but it's not the time. I think it's going to be Moxley. Moxley's going to walk away with it. He's going to end the year of 2024 as AEW World Champion. Josh Moxley. All right, Justin Roberts.
Yeah.
What did you spell?
Leave me be.
Bexley.
Troy.
I think it's Moxley. That championship stays in that briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
Try that again, Jeff. There you go. Sorry, I've never been on this side to see how terrible you are.
It also feels too soon for him to lose it, too.
I mean, okay, so Adam Page as a champ was terrible, right? Like, he was just terrible. It was all about the story of him getting it.
That's what I was getting ready to say. More of he chased the title.
Yes.
It was good chasing it, but once he got there,
Yeah, thank you for just taking the mic away from me. I appreciate that. Who cares what I have to say? It's your show, right? And,
exactly.
it's not, it's not going to be Jay White. He'll get it, just not yet. Orange Cassidy, not going to happen yet. It's going to be, well, I mean, that narrows it down. Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
Goes Jon Moxley. Everybody picks Moxley on that one. All right, just to recap all of our
including
picks.
the 20 other matches he'll probably add between now and then.
Yeah, okay, so full disclosure, this is not the entire card. This is card subject to change.
The card as of December 22nd.
Yes, as of December 22nd. I'm sure there's going to be a couple other matches added because
there are technically 2 semifinals. We just don't know what those are.
Yeah, like we're just not going to go through all of that. Yeah. So, all right, just from the top, Continental Classic final for the AEW Continental Championship semifinal winner versus semifinal winner. Troy and I both going Okada. Josh is going Fletcher. Jason is going Briscoe.
Who is going to be the winner? Yes.
Next match, AEW Dynamite Diamond Ring. I'm going Cole. I'm the only one that's going Adam Cole. Adam Cole versus MJF, the ring holder.
Like to lose.
I take risk, okay? Everybody else is going MJF on that one. Then we have the AEW Women's World Championship, a Tijuana street fight. Mariah May taking on Thunder Rosa, defending her title against Thunder Rosa. All 4 of us are going Mariah May on this one. Then we get to the AEW International Championship match. Josh, myself, and Jason all go Takeshita. Troy actually goes Hobbs.
Because he wants to take a risk, and that is commendable. You know what? It's nice when people take risks. You have to respect it.
I get no respect. AEW TBS Championship match. Mercedes Moné defending her title against Chris Statlander. I'm going Statlander while everybody else is going Moné.
Because you chose wrong.
Leave me alone.
You see who everyone else is picking? You have to follow the pack.
No.
Don't take risks. Who does that?
You notice that Jason does not have a mic in front of him right now. We're sharing a mic, actually, going back and forth.
Yeah, because instead you get Josh a mic. Josh is great on the mic. He said so much.
Yeah.
Oh, final match, the main event. 4-way match for the AEW World Championship. Jon Moxley defending his title against Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy. Hangman Adam Page, and Jay White. All 4 of us went with Moxley on that. And that is all of our predictions for AEW's World's End. We're going to shift gears real quick, and now we have the main event.
It looks like all the talking has been done. It's time for the main event.
Here's the main event where we go ahead and let you know what your upcoming week in professional wrestling is going to look like internationally, nationally, and locally. As far as internationally and nationally, this upcoming Wednesday, December 25th, Christmas, it's a special Christmas episode of AEW Dynamite titled Dynamite on 34th Street.
It's a miracle.
It is. It is a miracle. Friday, December 27th, New Year's themed special for AEW Rampage, which will be the annual New Year's Smash event. This will also be the final episode of Rampage, as the program was not included in AEW's media rights deal with Warner Brothers Discovery. That takes effect on January 1st.
You did okay, Rampage.
Yeah, you helped us through. You got us through there.
Yeah. Out of all the shows, it was one of them.
It had one important episode. That's it.
That's true. It
The
had
CM
that
Punk
one
episode. Yeah.
Yep, the second episode was the most important episode, and nothing after that. At the time of the recording, both Dynamite and Rampage are being taped tonight, actually, December 22nd, so be cautious of online spoilers. Saturday, December 28th, we just did predictions for this AEW World's End pay-per-view at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which also means no AEW Collision this week. Also, on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Game Changer Wrestling presents Take Care, which will stream on Triller TV+.
That's not how you spell it.
It's Triller, right?
No, I was talking about Take Care.
That's how they spell it.
Yeah.
Not stupid, Josh. It was a joke. Do you not understand comedy?
Yeah.
I think the 10 ounces of plastic is getting to his head.
No. It's not even near my head.
Sunday, December 29th, the women's Japanese promotion World Wonder Ring Stardom presents its pay-per-view Dream Queendom, and due to the time difference, it will air that morning at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. People have heard me talk on here about the Japanese wrestling. If you're going to get up and you're going to watch Joshi or New Japan, whatever type of Japanese wrestling you're going to watch that night, either stay up all night or get you a power nap in. Okay, that's usually what I've done before. Get a power nap in, get up about 1 o'clock in the morning, and yeah. As far as locally goes, on Thursday, December 26th, American Pro Wrestling will hold its weekly TV tapings at the Mountain State Sportatorium in Beckley, West Virginia. Bell time is 7:30 p.m. and general admission is $10. While it's $8 for kids 12 and under, APW's weekly tapings air every Saturday in West Virginia at midnight on Fox 59 WVNS. Then, on Saturday, December 28th, Elite Pro Wrestling Alliance will be at the Indy Theater in Kaiser, West Virginia for
Saturday Night Wrestling.
bell time is 7 o'clock, and all tickets are $20. And that's it for this final weekend of shows for 2024. But before we close this segment, we would like to take a brief moment to pay our respects to Big Time Wrestling, which was based out of Huntington, West Virginia, as the promoter, Freddie Cornell, decided it was time to hang up the boots. We here at the Grill Out unfortunately never got to make it to a Big Time Wrestling event, but thank you for all of the shows you had done over the years and your contributions to professional wrestling in West Virginia. That's going to end this segment, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a real quick break, and when we come back, our final thoughts. Stay tuned.
Once again, here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grill Out. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty, joined with Josh Cole, Bebe.
Cancellations.
We'll get to that here in
Yeah.
a second.
We don't have to.
Yeah, we're going to cover it. That's Jason Lykens in the background talking.
Yep,
Uh-huh.
that's me.
Yep. You got anything?
No.
There you go. And then we're also joined by director and producer for Grappalachia, Troy Rankin. I hope that seeing all this, you're like, I don't ever want to come back.
Man, I'm still here, so I'm having a good time.
Hey, we try to have that. Try to have a good time around here.
Yeah.
AEW Rampage is not the only show being canceled, as WWE's NXT Level Up also had its final tapings this past week.
Heartbreaking.
I know.
Yeah.
With
All
its
the stuff that happened on there.
with its final episode to also air on Friday, December 27th. NXT Level Up featured newer NXT wrestlers
Developmental.
or those not featured as much on the main NXT show.
Yeah, like that one wrestler who did the one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it had aired head-to-head against Rampage on Fridays at 10 p.m. Eastern. It did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I didn't know it was a show.
But it was on streaming, so Peacock here and the network everywhere else.
Okay, at 10 p.m. on Peacock, as what Josh said, in the U.S., and the WWE Network internationally, although
Which
WWE...
is about to end.
Yes. Although WWE is losing that Friday night show, it will not lose that hour of programming as beginning on January 3rd, 2025. SmackDown will expand to 3 hours. And yeah, if you couldn't hear Jason in the background, he just learned about NXT Level Up.
Yep.
Yeah, Level Up had replaced 205 Live almost 3 years ago. So
Wait, 205 Live was still on?
up until 2022, yeah.
You're blowing my brain.
I didn't know that there was... Okay, all right.
205 Live went from 2016 to February of 22, and then it got replaced by Level Up.
I learned something today.
Yeah.
This is news to me because like we were talking off the air about it, like about how last time I remember it was like 2019. That was around. Well, no, it was 2018. That was when All In happened.
Yeah,
because that was when Okada had the match with Marty, and he kept saying you're going to end up on 205 Live. Then he has the spot in All In where he's got him in the headlock, and he goes 205, poking fun at him and everything. Yeah. See, I didn't even know that.
yeah.
Then again, I don't know a whole lot.
That's true.
It is very true.
I mean, one thing I won't say is you're a liar.
That's true. That's true. You ain't calling me a truther. Well, I guess you are. I don't know. Leave me be.
How much time do we have, Jeff?
We have like 7 minutes.
7 minutes. All right.
Go for it.
Well, let me ask you this, Troy, if that is your name.
That is my government name, yeah.
Who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
That's a loaded question. I would say as of a few years ago, it was Hulk Hogan, but
Yeah.
things
Clearly
have
you
since.
haven't listened to the show.
Yeah, I admittedly have not listened to a lot of the show, guys.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's not your fault.
It's
It's
okay.
mine.
No one will ever hear this.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think over the years, I was thinking about this. I was thinking on the way here, I was like, these guys are going to ask me who my favorite wrestler is, and I'm going to be like, well, I have so many different thoughts because I love Stone Cold, but Stone Cold's not a perfect human being. Like, all these guys aren't perfect human beings.
No, not asking about who's your ideal human. Like, let's go with the sports entertainer aspect of it. So the actual technical wrestling aside, who is your favorite entertainer?
Right now, it's Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens?
Yeah.
That's a great pick.
Yeah.
Who do you think the greatest of all time is?
Stone Cold. Steve
Stone Cold?
Austin, yeah.
You see, the sad thing that we came to the conclusion of here is that it probably is Hogan. Just
It is
because
too.
of everything that he's done for the business. And I don't like Hogan. I don't like him.
I like his in-ring stuff, and that's about it. And I mean, I think people have talked about, like, Hogan couldn't wrestle, Hogan's not this, but like if you've seen old tape of Hogan in Japan, like doing drop toe holds or whatever, and
Just work.
like he was a worker.
Yeah.
He worked as much as he needed to here, and so I think that's what upsets work rate people.
You actually echoed the exact thing that we've said on this show, and I think it did come from you, Jason, that he did what he needed to do here, and that was it.
Well, a big part of that was the way that Vince wanted him to be portrayed. Because, I mean, Vince, I don't think it's any surprise, loved big, sweaty men. I mean,
They called WWE the land of the giants for a reason.
Yeah, and so he wanted people to wrestle like giants, these big characters. And so Hogan didn't need to be doing drop toe holds. He needed to be doing big
Atomic
boots.
leg drops.
Yeah, and leg drops.
That somehow took you out.
Hulking up and all that. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I like there's no denying his mark on the industry and in pop culture. And so I mean, his personal views aside, that's a whole different story. We don't have to, I don't want to talk about that. That's not this show.
Maybe I
So
do.
let's get into it.
No, yes, everything aside with I'll just say the controversy. The controversy around Hogan, you cannot take away the impact he has had on the world of professional wrestling. I mean, it was Edge and Christian who cited Hulkamania as what got them involved in professional wrestling, and that's just two people. That doesn't encompass everybody that it has influenced.
All right, so let me ask you this. Jeff, how much time do we have?
3 to 4 minutes.
All right. So, Troy, back to you.
Hot seat.
Who's your favorite technical wrestler of all time?
Oh, Bryan Danielson. Yeah, that's an easy one.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that.
Yeah. That man can do it all. And that's like,
Except wrestle and not get concussed.
well, that if you're that technical, I don't know. That's a weird thing. I'm like, he puts his body on the line, much like everybody else does in the ring. And so I think you have to have a wanton disregard for yourself and your body to wrestle the way that he does.
True.
Yeah, because wasn't it, correct me if I'm wrong on this, when Bryan Danielson went over when he left WWE and went to AEW, Vince obviously was I'm sure he wasn't entirely happy about it, but he was like, I get it. Wasn't it that Bryan was like, Vince, I want to bleed?
Yeah.
He just wanted to wrestle.
Yeah.
He went to wrestle a bear at one time.
I'm
Speaking
not.
of bears earlier.
I know someone in Beckley. There's tape of it. We can.
Honestly, actually, speaking of that, and you're the WWF championship real quick.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you want to throw that in here because
Sure.
we didn't get a chance to touch on that.
Yeah, so I had read something about, 2 months ago. Basically, the original WWE Championship, which was the WWF at the time that United States built, I had read that was actually used as a West Virginia Championship before it came to the WWF. Do you know anything about that?
No, I didn't get too deep into the history of it. I honestly, about as far back as I got was Bobby Blaze, and that was just honest. That's cause it's funny you just kept mentioning it because those guys, the guys that are the older guys now, got trained by Bobby Blaze, and so they attribute everything to him. So I and like I said, a couple guys know about the Poffos running shows in Madison, but other than that, once again, I just didn't have time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the audience can see how happy I am to hear people praise the Blaze. Okay, one last question from me. Troy. I don't know why I need to keep looking at the name to see if that is your name.
I might have changed it in that time.
Huh?
Did you?
No.
Okay. Most overrated wrestler of all time. And why is it Hulk Hogan? No, who do you think is the most overrated?
Oh my God, I don't know. I have such a respect. This is such a fence-sitting answer, but I have such a respect for anybody that goes out there and does it.
Say the name.
I don't even really have a
Say
name.
it, Troy.
Oh no.
Listen, if you don't say a name, everyone will lose respect for you. So no pressure.
I'm trying to think who I didn't.
Sting? Huh? Is that it?
You don't like Sting?
That?
You're saying you're pointing me towards Sting. No, I love
Ric
Sting.
Flair, Harley Race, Dusty Rhodes,
Bret Hart.
Now you're just trying to start a fist fight.
Bill Goldberg.
Oh, it might be okay. There it is.
Yeah, I mean that one's fair.
That one's easy.
He almost killed the Undertaker.
Goldberg is 2 moves and that's it. But man, was that gimmick was over, but as a wrestler he's not good.
No, it goes back to what Kevin Nash said about it. When your whole gimmick is being undefeated and you lose a match, every bit of momentum you build up is gone instantly. And that's exactly what happened with Bill Goldberg.
And then he tore a quad.
That's true. Then he tore a quad.
He did?
I don't know.
Kevin Nash? Yeah.
Oh, talking about Nash.
Yeah, while he was giving that quad, tore 4
Yeah, he
quads.
got injured. Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just saying gimmicks. I think any gimmick can get over if somebody's committed enough to it. But it's for it to have staying power. I think you still also have to show up in the ring a little bit more than just spear and jackhammer. So it's Goldberg.
Well, he also did a. Yep. Yeah, I've got nothing.
Doing fantastic, buddy. December 30th, Grappalachia. It will be on the WVPB app.
Mm-hmm.
It will also be on your local West Virginia Public Broadcasting channel. I talk with my hands. Leave me be.
Because if that comes out of your hand, you're hitting our guest.
Oh, thank you, Troy, for joining us for this episode.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me here. This has been a blast.
Hey, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. If you want to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/The Grill Out. You can also follow us on Blue Sky at thegrillout.bsky.social. You can also email us, thegrillout95@gmail.com. And until next time, fellow wrestling fans, have a good one.